It was a worn fall Saturday morning like no other, and Champy the Wonder Dog could sense something exciting was about to happen. Grandpa and Grandma were bustling around the house long before the sun came up. They were busy in their house kitchen packing chicken salad sandwiches, cookies and bacon treats in a big picnic basket, and lots of water bottles into a big ice cooler for the day's trip. "Are you ready for a special adventure, Champy?" Grandma asked, scratching Champy behind his ears. Champy wagged his tail furiously, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. At precisely 5 a.m., the trio piled into Grandpa's trusty old car he named Ruby, because the car was colored ruby red. Champy hopped into the back seat, his favorite blanket under him. The engine roared to life, and they began their journey to the Nashville Zoo. The sky was still dark, and the stars twinkled brightly as they drove along the quiet country roads. Champy just loved riding in the car. "This is Champy's first trip to the zoo," Grandpa said, with a smile, glancing in the rearview mirror at his excited dog. Grandma said, "I think he's going to love it." The drive was peaceful, with Grandma occasionally pointing out things like a deer grazing in a field or the golden glow of the sunrise. Champy pressed his nose to the car window, his tail wagging whenever he saw something new. By the time they arrived at the Nashville Zoo, the morning sun was high in the sky, casting warm light over the entrance. The parking lot was already buzzing with families, children, and other excited visitors. "Welcome to the zoo, Champy!" Grandma exclaimed as they stepped out of the car. Champy barked joyfully, ready for the big adventure to begin. The first stop was the flamingo exhibit. Champy tilted his head, watching the pink birds wade through the water, with their long legs moving through the water like on stilts. One flamingo bent down to look at him through the fence, and Champy gave a little woof as if saying, "Hello." Next, they visited the monkey habitat. Champy's eyes grew wide as he watched the playful monkeys swinging from tree to tree. One mischievous monkey even tossed a peanut toward him. Champy tried to catch it, but it bounced off his nose, making everyone laugh. Champy was embarrassed. As they strolled through the zoo, Champy's favorite moment came when they reached the petting zoo area. Here, visitors could feed and pet some of the friendlier animals. A lady zookeeper handed Grandma a small bag of animal food, and she crouched down to help Champy hold some pellets in his mouth. First up were the goats. They eagerly nibbled at the feed in Champy's mouth, and Champy wagged his tail so hard it looked like a blur. Next, a llama leaned down to sniff him. Champy froze for a moment. Skeleton then gave a happy bark, startling the llama, which hopped back in surprise. "Good boy, Champy," Grandpa said, laughing. "You've just made a new friend." The day continued with more wonderful discoveries. Champy was mesmerized by the colorful parrots in the bird aviary, tilting his head as they squawked and chattered. Next was the Tiger Island. Champy stood very still, his ears perked up as the big cat prowled gracefully beyond the water that circled the Tiger Island. "Don't worry, Champy," Grandma said. "The tigers can't get across the water moat to you or anyone." One of the most exciting moments was when they saw the giraffes. Grandpa lifted Champy onto a wood bench so he could see better. The giraffes stretched their long necks down to munch on leaves offered by other visitors. Champy barked softly, as if in awe of how tall they were. Lunch was a picnic on a blanket under a shady maple tree near the children's playground. While Grandpa and Grandma ate chicken salad sandwiches and potato chips, Champy enjoyed the special bacon treat and chocolate cookies Grandma had packed just for him. There was plenty of water for everyone. "Having fun, Champy?" Grandma asked, and Champy gave her an enthusiastic wag of his tail in reply. After lunch, they visited the elephants. Champy's nose twitched as he took in their earthy scent. When one of the elephants sprayed water from its trunk, Champy jumped back, startled, but quickly shook the water off and wagged his tail, joining in the laughter of the crowd. As the afternoon wore on, they visited more exhibits. The penguins, the zebras, and even a slithering snake in the reptile house. Grandma passed on seeing the reptiles. Champy wasn't sure what to make of the snakes, but he stayed close to Grandpa, who gave him a reassuring pat. Before leaving the zoo, they stopped at the zoo gift shop. Grandma picked out a stuffed animal shaped like a little brown bear for Champy. "A little souvenir to remember your first trip to the zoo," she said. Champy carried it proudly in his mouth. She also bought bags of gifts for the grandkids. The drive home was quiet. The excitement of the day had tired Champy out, and he curled up on his blanket in the back seat, clutching his new stuffed bear. Grandpa sung a hymn as he drove to stay awake. Grandma smiled, glancing back at their happy, sleepy dog. As they pulled into the driveway at exactly 7:10 p.m., the sky was painted with the soft hues of sunset. Grandpa led Champy into the house, and Grandma laid out his blanket in front of the TV. "What a special Saturday," Grandma said as she laid Smokey the brown bear beside Champy. "You're our wonder dog, Champy, and we've had another big adventure." Champy drifted off to sleep. Champy the Wonder Dog's adventures will continue. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, comment, and click the notification and bell icons, and you won't miss any new adventure.